Good afternoon and thank you. I feel incredibly privileged and honored to be standing here among such remarkable women today. Women who inspire not just me but countless others. Their strength, courage, and determination to make a difference in the world are truly commendable. I want to take a moment to congratulate each and every one of you, especially Octavia, Michelle, Kelly, Patty, and all 50 women featured in the Impact Report. Your stories of success are a beacon of hope and a reminder that no goal is too big to achieve. As I stand here, I find myself reflecting on the journey that brought me to this moment. There are times in life when you pause and ask yourself, how did I get here? Why am I standing here? It's in those moments that we connect with our roots, with the memories of where we began. My journey, like many of yours, started from humble beginnings. I was born to incredible parents who served as doctors in the Indian Army. From an early age, they instilled in me the values of hard work, empathy, and service. Being the firstborn, I felt a sense of responsibility to live up to their expectations. My parents' unwavering support and love shaped my worldview. I grew up in a home where education was not just encouraged but expected. They taught me that the world is vast and our duty is to give back, especially to those who are less fortunate. But my journey also took me to places where I realized that not everyone is given the same opportunities. I noticed the difference between boys and girls at a young age. In many parts of the world, girls are deprived of basic rights like education. This sparked something in me, something that would eventually shape my future purpose. This is where my story truly begins. The journey to make a real, lasting difference in the world, particularly for girls who are denied the basic human right to education. Growing up in India, I was fortunate to experience life in a way that many girls in my country could only dream of. My parents, both doctors in the Indian Army, served not just as healthcare providers, but also as role models for what it means to be compassionate and selfless. They believed in equal opportunities for both me and my brother. This in itself was rare. In a society where gender inequality was prevalent, my upbringing was a privilege I never took for granted. When I was young, my parents took me on trips to rural villages where they worked with communities in need. These experiences were eye-opening. I vividly remember being around 8 or 9 years old, accompanying them on visits to these villages, helping out with whatever tasks I could. As I went along, I began to notice something disturbing. Girls were being pulled out of school when they hit puberty. The reason? They were considered ready for marriage, their future already decided for them. It broke my heart to see such potential go to waste. While boys continued their education, girls were expected to step into their roles as wives and mothers before they even had a chance to dream. This disparity, this blatant disregard for the potential of girls stayed with me. It became my first trigger, an awareness of the stark inequalities that girls around the world face, simply because of their gender. This awareness would later become the driving force behind my mission to advocate for girls' education and gender equality. The deeper I immersed myself in these experiences, the more I realized that education is not just a luxury. It is a necessity. It is the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and injustice that holds millions of girls back. As I grew older, I began to understand the full extent of this issue. Gender inequality is not just about opportunities. It is about survival, about the future of entire communities. At the age of 18, I entered the entertainment industry. Like many young women, I was eager to prove myself and make my mark. However, my career path was not without challenges. I soon encountered a director who made it clear that if I didn't accept his unreasonable terms and low salary, he would simply replace me. He told me that women, like me, were replaceable in the entertainment business. That moment stayed with me. It was a painful experience, but it also taught me something invaluable. It made me decide to never let myself be replaceable. It made me determined to rise above the limitations that others tried to impose on me. That experience marked the beginning of a mindset shift. It wasn't enough to simply excel in my career. I wanted to use my position to create meaningful change. to help those who didn't have a voice. My journey took a pivotal turn when I met the daughter of my housekeeper, a young girl who would unknowingly shape the direction of my life. I came home from set one day and found her sitting in my library reading a book. I was struck by how much she loved to read, but when I asked why she wasn't in school, her response shocked me. She explained that her family could not afford to send her to school. They had chosen to send her brothers instead because, in their eyes, educating a girl was a waste of money. After all, she would one day get married, so why invest in her education? That moment hit me hard. I knew then that I had to do something. I covered the cost of her education so she could continue her studies. Education is a basic human right, and no one, especially a girl, should be deprived of it simply because of their gender. That day marked the beginning of my commitment to making a difference in the lives of young girls. I understood that if I could help just one child, I would be contributing to a larger change, one that could break the chains of inequality for generations to come. Over the years, my passion for education and gender equality grew stronger. The more I learned about the challenges girls face, the more determined I became to help. Around this time, I also partnered with UNICEF, an organization that works tirelessly to support children worldwide, especially those affected by child marriage, war, and displacement. Despite the progress made in the last few decades, the statistics are still staggering. More than 15 million girls of primary school age will never have the chance to learn how to read or write, compared to 10 million boys. This is a sobering reality. We are at a crossroads where education could either empower entire generations or continue to perpetuate inequality. I've seen firsthand the difference that education can make. It empowers families, communities, and entire nations. When a girl is educated, the world benefits. It's as simple as that. Girls have the potential to shape the future, yet they are often held back by outdated societal norms. This is why I am so committed to this cause and why I will continue to fight for girls' education and gender equality. As I continue my journey with UNCEF, I've had the privilege of seeing the incredible work they do for children all around the world. They focus on the most vulnerable, including victims of child marriage, displacement, sexual violence, and war. The struggles these children face are unimaginable, but I've also seen their resilience. The truth is, we all have the power to make a difference, even if it's in the smallest ways. One act of kindness, one investment in a child's education can change the trajectory of a life. But while we've made progress, there is still so much more to be done. For every girl who receives an education, there are millions who are still denied that right. The fight is far from over. It's not just about providing access to schools, it's about changing the culture that devalues the education of girls. The moment a girl steps into a classroom, she takes a step toward transforming her community. And as she learns, we all grow stronger. I know firsthand how education can change the future. I've met countless young girls who, given the chance, have blossomed into leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers. They are proof that girls have the power to change the world. However, we must continue pushing for equal opportunities. We cannot stop until every girl, regardless of where she's born, has access to the education she deserves. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of this issue. Education for girls is a massive challenge, especially in areas where cultural norms and poverty restrict access. But I believe that change begins with us. Each one of us can make a difference. As a society, we must collectively decide that the education of girls is non-negotiable. Every child has the right to learn, to grow, to dream, and to reach her full potential. This is where our collective responsibility comes in. As influencers, entertainers, and leaders, we hold a unique position. We have platforms and voices that can inspire action, spark conversations, and drive change. It is our duty to use these platforms to advocate for what's right. We must raise our voices for those who cannot speak for themselves. I want to commend each of the women in this room for using your voices to make a difference. You are role models, not just in your work, but in the way you stand up for causes that matter. It's because of women like you that we continue to see progress. But the work is far from over, and we must continue pushing forward until every girl has the opportunity to go to school, dream big, and achieve greatness. Education is not a privilege, it is a right. It's a right that every girl, regardless of where she's born, deserves to have. The power of education cannot be overstated. When girls are educated, they are empowered. They are equipped with the tools to shape their own futures, to break free from cycles of poverty, and to lift their families and communities out of hardship. It is also essential to recognize the importance of education in breaking down long-standing gender biases. For far too long, societies have told girls that their value lies in their ability to be mothers and wives, not in their ability to lead or create change. We must change that narrative. Education helps girls realize their worth and their potential, and it gives them the confidence to pursue their dreams without fear. We need to continue challenging these stereotypes and shifting the cultural mindset. The world is ready for a change, and that change starts with education. Every girl who is given the chance to learn will one day become a woman who will contribute to society in meaningful ways. We are not just investing in their future, we are investing in the future of humanity itself. I often think about the young girl I met years ago, the one whose family couldn't afford to send her to school. I think about how much potential she had and how much she could have achieved if only her family had been given the resources and opportunity to invest in her education. That memory stays with me, and it reminds me why I do what I do today. The ripple effect of educating a girl is far-reaching. It doesn't just change her life, it changes the lives of those around her. It impacts her family, her community, and eventually the entire world. Education empowers women to become leaders, entrepreneurs, activists, and change makers. It equips them with the tools to advocate for their rights and fight for the rights of others. In many parts of the world, we are still fighting to break down barriers to girls' education. But there is hope. Organizations like UNICEF are working tirelessly to provide access to education for girls in even the most remote areas. They are providing scholarships, building schools, and advocating for policy changes. Together we can help ensure that no girl is left behind. But this fight is not just about education. It's about creating a world where gender equality is the norm, not the exception. We need to create societies where women and girls are treated as equals, where their voices are heard, and where their potential is recognized. The first step toward achieving that is education. Once girls are given the chance to learn, they can begin to break down the barriers that hold them back. As I stand here today, I am reminded of the incredible power that education holds. It's not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about empowerment. It's about giving girls the tools they need to change the world. And when girls are empowered, the entire world benefits. This is a fight we cannot afford to lose. The stakes are too high. We must continue to fight for girls' education, for gender equality, and for a world where every girl has the opportunity to reach her full potential. The time for change is now. Every girl deserves the chance to learn. Education is the foundation upon which they can build their dreams, create change, and break free from limitations. It's not a privilege, it's a right. The power of education transcends borders and cultures, and we must do everything we can to ensure it's accessible to all. I've witnessed the transformative impact of education firsthand. I've seen girls turn their lives around when given the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to reach for their goals. These girls, despite facing immense obstacles, prove that education can change everything. But the work doesn't stop here. There are millions more who need our help. In my journey, I've learned that creating change requires more than just good intentions. It requires action. We must be vocal advocates for the rights of girls and use our platforms to raise awareness. As influencers and leaders, we have a responsibility to highlight these issues and encourage others to join the cause. This is not just about one person's story, it's about collective action. Every step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to a world where all girls can access quality education. Together, we can push for stronger policies, support initiatives, and change attitudes toward girls' education. It's time to stop seeing this as a problem and start viewing it as a solution waiting to be implemented. The importance of education in breaking down gender barriers cannot be overstated. It is the key to ensuring that women and girls are seen as equals, capable of leading, innovating, and creating change. As we challenge old norms and biases, we open doors to a future where gender no longer determines one's opportunities. In areas where girls are still denied education, it's vital to continue advocating for change. This fight is not only for the right to education, but for the right to a future. When a girl is educated, she lifts not just herself, but her entire community. Education is a catalyst for empowerment, and we must ensure every girl has access to it. The stories I've heard from girls who faced unimaginable odds, but overcame them with the power of education, are a testament to the resilience and potential within every girl. I remember one girl who, despite her family's financial struggles, became the first in her village to attend school. She inspired others, proving that education is not a barrier, it's a path to opportunity. But for every success story, there are countless others who remain silenced by the lack of opportunities. The system must change, and we all have a role to play in making that happen. By supporting organizations that fight for education, we contribute to a world where every girl has the chance to shape her own future. Education is not just about academics, it's about empowerment. It's about giving girls the tools to create their own futures and to make a difference in the world. When girls are educated, they don't just change their lives, they change the lives of those around them. Communities flourish, economies grow, and societies thrive when girls are given the opportunity to learn. We have to keep pushing forward, even when it feels like progress is slow. Every action we take, every voice we raise, moves us closer to a world where no girl is left behind. This is the world we must build, and it begins with ensuring that every girl has access to education. The fight for girls' education is far from over, but there are signs of progress. Across the globe, initiatives are taking shape, communities are rallying, and governments are being held accountable. These efforts are making a difference, but there's still so much work to do. For every girl who is given a chance to learn, there are countless others still waiting. We need to continue pushing for policy changes, advocating for girls' rights, and ensuring that the barriers preventing them from going to school are dismantled. Education should not be a privilege for the few. It should be a basic right for every child, regardless of their gender or where they live. Throughout my journey, I've had the opportunity to meet incredible women and girls who are changing the world one step at a time. These women, with their determination and courage, have inspired me to keep pushing forward, to keep fighting for girls' education. Their stories remind me why this cause is so important. But we cannot do this alone. We need to continue building a global community that supports the education of every girl. We must create an environment where every girl, no matter her background, has the opportunity to succeed. This will not only change the trajectory of her life, but the future of our world. We must also remember that educating a girl goes beyond just the classroom. It's about creating an environment where she is valued, where she is encouraged to dream big and pursue her ambitions. Education opens doors, but it's the belief in a girl's potential that truly allows her to soar. As we continue to work towards this goal, let us remember that education is not just an individual pursuit, it's a collective effort. We all have a part to play in ensuring that no girl is left behind. Whether it's through advocacy, financial support, or simply raising awareness, every action counts. I've often said that the future is female, and it's not just a catchy phrase. It's a reality that we must create. Girls are the future of our world, and if we invest in their education, we invest in a brighter tomorrow. The potential that lies within every girl is boundless, but we need to provide the tools and opportunities for them to unlock it. Imagine a world where girls are no longer held back by outdated cultural norms or financial barriers. Imagine a world where every girl has the chance to achieve her dreams. That world is within reach, but it requires our collective effort. Together, we can make it a reality. The importance of educating girls cannot be overstated. It is the key to addressing so many of the world's most pressing issues. When girls are educated, they are more likely to stay healthy, earn a better living, and contribute to their communities. They are more likely to raise healthy, educated children, creating a cycle of empowerment that extends through generations. But we cannot rest until every girl has access to education. We must continue to push for policy changes, support grassroots initiatives, and ensure that no girl is left behind. This is not just a fight for girls' rights. It's a fight for the future of our world. The impact of educating girls extends far beyond individual success. It's a catalyst for societal change. When a girl learns, she becomes a powerful force for transformation. Her education empowers not only herself, but also her community. Educated girls are more likely to become leaders, advocates, and role models, influencing others around them. This ripple effect of education is what makes it so powerful. It's not just about helping one individual. It's about creating a movement, one where every girl has the opportunity to thrive and make a difference. And as we continue this journey, we must remember that every step forward counts. The world is changing, and so are the opportunities available to women and girls. But these opportunities are still out of reach for too many. Every time I think about the millions of girls who are denied an education, I feel a renewed sense of urgency. It's a reminder that we cannot afford to slow down. We must act now to ensure that the next generation of girls has the opportunities they deserve. Each of us has the ability to contribute to this change. Whether through direct support, advocacy, or simply amplifying the voices of those who are working on the ground, we all play a part in shaping the future. The fight for girls' education is ongoing, and we must continue pushing for a world where every girl has the right to learn and grow. We've seen incredible progress in recent years, but there is still much work to be done. The challenge is immense, but it is not insurmountable. By working together, by supporting each other, and by continuing to fight for change, we can create a world where girls' education is no longer a luxury, but a right. It starts with each one of us. When we stand together, our collective efforts have the power to change the world. We must continue to raise our voices for those who cannot speak for themselves and advocate for policies that will ensure that every girl has access to the education she deserves. The future of our world depends on the education of girls. As we continue to fight for their rights, we must remember that the work is not just about today, it's about securing a better tomorrow. Every girl who gets an education will one day have the power to change the world. And when she does, we will all be better for it. This is the legacy we are building, a legacy of empowerment, of equality, and of opportunity for all. The more we invest in girls' education, the more we invest in a better future for everyone. It is time to act, to make education for all girls a reality, and to build a world where no girl is left behind. As I stand here today, I am filled with gratitude for all the women who have come before me, for those who have fought and continue to fight for equality, for opportunity, and for a better future for girls everywhere. But I am also filled with hope that together we can create a world where every girl has the opportunity to learn, grow, and achieve her dreams. Now, more than ever, it is our collective responsibility to ensure that no girl is left behind. Let's continue to use our voices, our platforms, and our influence to fight for what is right. If you believe in the power of education and equality for all girls, like this video and join the movement. Together we can change the world.